Hello and welcome to Clarke Farms. We're back with another episode of the Clarke Farms map by MRG Mapping. And last time I believe we finished up with our spring tillage. We've got these two fields all prepped and ready for planting. It is still early spring. The ground is not quite warm enough. But we do need to get our equipment hooked up to the planter. So I did go ahead and put away our equipment off camera. We did finish up some of field 2. I'll call it off camera. I did live stream that in my Discord server. So every once in a while when I have some things like that to do, I might just pop into a Discord channel and stream and just kind of hang out and talk with people while I do that. So if that's something you're interested in, head on over to the Discord server. The link is in the description. We're pushing into like 350 people on the Discord server now, so it's a pretty active and lively group. We do have this Kinze planter here, however, today that we're going to be putting through its paces. So we're going to get that hooked up, and it looks like manual attach is not going to let me hook these hoses up. Okay, well, we're just going to let that be for now. I think it's going to work fine. Now, we don't have any seed in this planter yet. We do have a little bit of fertilizer because I was testing something when I set up the map, and I guess I didn't take the fertilizer back out. Oh, it's going to drive me nuts if those hoses don't hook up. But we are going to get the planter all set up today. And a couple of things that I realized. One is we need a loader tractor, a utility tractor for the farm. I've mentioned this in the past videos. I didn't spend enough time before I started the series to get every piece of equipment that I wanted on here. So we're going to have a few pieces of equipment kind of show back up by surprise here. And so I don't think we've actually been into this shed, but the New Holland T6 series tractors here, the open cab, just showed up on the mod hub a couple of days ago. And this is not the exact model of tractor that Clarke Farms was running on his farm, but he does have a little New Holland utility tractor that he's using for mowing. He's got a Case 105U, I think, that he uses for a lot of these kind of odd jobs typically. But the only version of that I could find was an EU style tractor, and so I figured I'd give this one a run. It's about the same size, you know, a 105U. I think that's a 105 horse. This is 110 horse. So this is a cool little tractor, and it just came out, so thought it'd be fun to try. Now, the other problem that we've got is we're in the negative for money, and so that's thanks to using a worker to do some of our work for us. And so we're going to take out our first loan here, and we're going to borrow $10,000, and we're going to use that to buy a couple pallets of seed to get started, and one more pallet of fertilizer. And we did decide to go with the dry fertilizer on this planter. I'm not sure why I chose to do that, but that's what we chose to do. And so we're going to go ahead and get this planter loaded up. I guess I could probably drive it over here, but we've got this new tractor, so let's see if we can figure out how to use it. This is my problem in cab. Like, in reality, I'd just lean over and check to see how close to the ground my forks were. I guess there is that real cab view mod that I've seen some people using. I might have to check that out at some point and see if it would let me lean left and right in the cab so that I could do things like that a little bit better. That would be pretty cool. But with that said, we're going to take this around and fill up this planter here. I love that the planter boxes open up. That looks pretty realistic. So we're going to jump over here. I think I've got to be in this one to fill it up. There we go. Tossing all those bags in the planter here right quick. Oh, wow. We filled that right up with less than one full pallet. I was not expecting that. Okay, well, we're going to put the rest of this into the shed. Given that that holds so little seed, I'm guessing we're going to need to refill this thing before we're done planting. And worst case, we'll have some left over for next season if we really need it. Hopefully that won't be the case. I don't like storing product for too long in the sheds. There we go. We're going to see if I can manage to not freak things out with the forklift. I'm coming back in here. It looks like that gas can is actually falling through the floor slightly. It's the little things that I notice sometimes. I could have played this map for 1,000 hours and never looked at a gas can in a shed, but I looked at it, so there you go. We're going to go ahead and move this other pallet of seed into the shed while we're in that mode. And see how that goes. Come on, am I not lined up? A little bit too high. There we go. See if I can get around this. Yep. So this is a cute little tractor mod. I like it. I like these smaller style equipment for getting around on the farm. And we're going to try and push this up against the back wall a little bit. And there we go. Hey, look at that. And then we crash into the wall. I was just about to be proud of myself for no shenanigans with 2 whole pallets, but apparently my driving is still a problem. So let's grab this dry fertilizer and toss that into this planter. And I think that we're going to have a little bit of this left over, but not much, because if I remember right, we were just in the planter. It was holding about 50% capacity, and I think I grabbed one of these big bags when I put some fertilizer in there in the first place. So let's actually see if I come maybe around the front, I can lift it up over the seed boxes. I like how high that is. All right, here we go. It's not going to open automatically. I was hoping that I could dump it in kind of like I've done for other things, but I guess no. And the fact that the tanks didn't open up like they did with the seed is slightly concerning. Let's just jump in here and see what happens. Oh, there we go. It's still going to fill. It just didn't give me the animation. Ooh, looks like we could take one more of these. So let's go ahead and get everything filled up just to start. Because I'd like to start off completely filled up and see how far everything goes. Don't want to be chasing after more materials at the 11th hour. And so it's kind of handy that everything gets dropped off right here at the farm on this particular map. Maybe not the most realistic. Normally when I do this, I use the store deliveries mod or shop deliveries mod. I can never remember what it's called. And then they charge me a delivery fee, which always feels a little bit more realistic. Oh, that's interesting. There's a, what is that on the top of the seed boxes? It's the seed texture just barely comes through when it's full. That's fascinating. Okay. Always noticing the little details. So we're going to put this New Holland back here in the shed. I do really want to get our cows going at some point here, but I'll probably wait until our grass is ready for its first cut so that we've got some hay at least to feed them. I know they could probably eat the grass at this point already, but we do want to be able to feed our cows before we get them. And so we'll probably just add in the hay equipment and stuff when the time comes, and the cows, but I won't probably add in any feed. We'll get the feed on whatever day we can cut the hay and bring some in will be the day that we add our cows. So it doesn't look like it's going to rain, so I'm going to just park this thing outside the shed here. And I think that now that we got this all set up and ready to go, we're just waiting for the weather to warm up a little bit so we can get planting. If we take a quick look at the map here, planting season for corn and soybeans should be coming up here shortly. Now, I always planted, I think we always planted our beans first. Man, it's been a long time. We're probably going to plant our beans first and then switch over to corn. So I think what we'll do is go ahead and skip forward to the next day of seasons and check back in then. So we've moved ahead a couple of days here with seasons, and our ground temperature is coming up, but if we look at the recommendation calendar, they really want you to hit 50 degrees for corn and soybeans to germinate, and we're not quite there, and that's okay. We're going to go ahead and start planting, because if we jump in here and look at the weather forecast, we're getting rain tomorrow, and we're getting a lot of rain the next few days, so we need to get these crops planted. And so given that each season is, or each day in seasons right now with 6-day seasons is a couple of weeks, we are going to be planting both of our crops today. I'm not sure we'll get both of them in this episode, but mid-spring is where we're going to be doing this at. So let me just adjust my audio. We've got the loudest tractor series in Farm Sim here keeping us on our toes. I think we're actually going to have to turn it down one notch in here. I'm just looking at my graph. I don't want to be spending all day adjusting audio later on. So we're going to get this thing unfolded. Now, I have never actually seen one of these type of planters in real life. It's just weird to me how it spins in place like this and comes down. That's just weird. I've never seen a planter that folds up quite like that. But it seems to work. I wonder, does that mean that this is all one solid piece then? Yeah. We always had the wing style. I'm kind of curious how this thing's going to work on some of this hilly ground, but we'll find out. We've got this field here. If we look at this field, I'm trying to think how I would plant this. I think we're going to do headlands first. Now, this is one I know for a fact. I've seen farmers do it both ways. We always planted our headlands last. In fact, after we got done planting the field, we'd run a digger through the headlands to kind of try to remove some of the compaction and then plant. But I've seen a lot of farmers that just put the headlands down first so the seeds are down before you start driving on them. So we're going to do that. It's kind of the Farm Sim way. That way, if I do decide that I want to hire a worker at some point during this field, we've got that option. This tractor is working really well on this planter. I'm loving it. I do wish I could have gotten those hydraulic hoses hooked up. Here, let me try one more time to see if I can hook these hydraulic hoses up. Nope, it does not seem to be working. Oh well. We tried. So we're going to go ahead and get these beans in, and wow, look at how fast we're using up the beans in this thing. We're already down 3%, and I haven't even gone down one headland yet. We might need to upgrade and put the extended hoppers onto this thing at some point, but we don't have them on there now, and I really don't have the money to. If you look at our money, we actually used... we've got something on the farm that costs us like $75 a day. And then on top of that, I think the interest on our loan was like $68 a day. So, you know, we're burning through more than $100 a day with our loan and whatever costs we have on the farm. So we've really got to be conscious of where we're spending our money. And so we will not be spending any money on silly things like extended seed boxes anytime soon. We're going to be making do with what we've got, and we can look into upgrading after we've had a successful, profitable year. This thing is awesome. We're going to go in cab for a second and see how this is working. Looking good. Now, I can't do this for long. We're going to go back out of cab. What I wanted to see is if the ridge markers actually work. Oh, they do. Would you look at that? We've got ridge markers. This is something that John Deere planter that I'm using in my other save doesn't have, that I wish it did. Now this ridge marker is really faint. I don't know that I'd be able to actually follow that. We're going to put it back up because we are going to be using GPS here once we get back over there, but that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, you can see it. I'll see next time we come around. I'll be curious to see how good it looks, because you know, normally you just follow that down the center of the tractor. Now this tractor doesn't actually have a hood ornament for me to stare at while I'm way off into the grass here. That was the thing I always liked about the older style John Deere tractors, is you had that little silver, I don't know, arrow hood ornament thing in the center of the hood that you could use to follow your ridge marker. I'm not quite used to the smaller width on this. I'm used to driving a DB60 from, you know, my other games and stuff. That's about the size I usually would be using, so I'm not quite staying close enough, and then I always overcorrect and put 2 rows into the grass, so we've got a little bit of a balancing act here. Once we get a headland or 2 done here, we will get GPS out and drive a little bit straighter. I'm loving this tractor though. It's looking good. It's pulling this planter real well. And if I can get going straight enough here, we are putting down fertilizer, so that's good. So I think everything is on track here. When we get these beans planted, and we're gonna switch over and do corn in our bigger field, just because well, to be honest, I love corn harvest. I love that it has high yield, and I'm really kind of curious to play with these bins, and so I really want to see us get these bins filled up. I want to have more than 2 bins with crop in it. I want to see how that's going to go. So we're going to definitely be putting some crop into storage until the price is better, that's for sure. And I'm curious to see what kind of yield we get and how much these bins actually hold, because I didn't actually see that anywhere in the store info. I'm sure it was on the website that I downloaded them from, but this whole concept of having bins that can only store 1 crop type, and I have to get things in and out of them like you would in real life, is super fascinating to me. So I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to go ahead and do 1 more headland pass this way, I think, because we have this fence up here along the cow pasture. Pardon me, still getting over a cold. I want to make sure we have enough room to turn around over here. And I don't think 1 pass with the planter is going to do it. So we're going to just do 1 more headland pass here. And I just realized I've got my hood off. How are we doing on seed? So we're already 30% just from doing 1 headland pass. So not too bad, but we're definitely going to need to put more seed in here before we finish this field, I think. That is what my gut's telling me. I'm horrible at estimating though, so we'll see. I'm surprised at how little fertilizer we're using. I don't think I installed any mods to alter fertilizer usage. Sometimes I run with the variable spray usage mod, which I think affects, dry as well, but nope, I don't have that turned on right now, so yeah, it's just not using that much fertilizer, but tons of seed. Although, I guess it's not using that much seed. The seed boxes are just pretty small. So I guess that makes sense. I mean, these fertilizer boxes are huge compared to the seed boxes, so we should have sprung for the extended seed boxes. Alright, so with that, I think what we'll do is maybe time-lapse out a little bit of this planting and check back in as we get going on the straight rows here a little bit.
Going back to my old hometown, picking up the years I leave behind. Getting in my car, I drive as memories fly by. Driving by the fields I used to run through, where you were chasing me. We were riding out under the bleachers when no one could see. Oh, sweet memories of the town I loved, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Moved a few times but ended up in Nashville. Tried to settle my restless soul. Got a job that felt like forever when I met you. You made me happy, we danced through the night. Life was music and I was your wife. Time flies and the years went by, still I tried. Oh, sweet memories of a town I loved, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Went for the dream, but I got lost. This house I leave is nothing like us. Chased happiness, ended up on a one-way street. We're leading nowhere, that's why I leave. Past the creek where we used to swim, jump the fence before the summer begins, and getting cool in the summer heat with you, my sweet. Sitting in the back of your car, wishing for this road to take us far. Now I've been way too long, I'm going home. Oh, sweet memories of a town I love, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one that got away? Sweet memories of the town I love, but oh, changed when you left. I keep on asking myself in my mind, were you the one? Were you the one? Always on my mind. Were you the one? Always there. Were you the one that got away?
So we're about, what, halfway through this field? That's generous. Probably a third of the way through the field. And we're running really low on seed. So we'll probably wrap up this pass and head back up into the yard and get this thing refilled. I realized a couple passes in that I probably picked kind of a weird angle for this field. I do like to do kind of an east-west or a north-south pattern in most of my fields and farm sim, just because that's how the crops are going to grow anyway. And I like to have them planted in the way that I'm going to harvest them, just so the ground texture and the how we work the field all year long matches up with how we harvest the field. Otherwise, it just feels weird to me. But looking at this, I probably should have been at a little bit of a slant. Probably the texture direction that you see for the cultivated ground there, I probably should have gone that direction. It would have lined up with the road a little bit more. Felt a little bit more natural. That's what I did when I was doing the cultivating on this field, the field prep. So maybe next season we'll do that, but I kind of figured we were invested at this point and we should just keep going once I was already a couple of passes in. Now, what I'm curious is am I going to get back to the end of the fields here? I don't think I'm going to, because I've got 0% left. I got 0.3 bushels and a long way to go here. I'm hoping to at least make it up this hill, but that even does not look likely. So we're going to go ahead and run this back up to the yard here. I guess we can cut across the field. It's less distance driving on the field to go directly this way, I suppose. And what we're going to do is just bring it right up here to the edge and run a pallet of seeds over here with the New Holland. Ooh, we kind of bumped into the edge of that pile there. So we're going to go ahead and grab the full pallet here. Since we only got about a third of the way through the field, I think we're going to need the full pallet. We'll only use about 2/3 of it to fill the planter up right now, but then we'll have some seed out there for us to grab again when we run low, without having to run all the way back up here to get another pallet. So this is the plan. I'm gonna drive a little bit slower here so I don't lose my pallet. I have a tendency of going a bit too fast sometimes. And we'll go ahead and just bring that right up behind the planter here like so. We'll turn this off. It'll be in a good spot. We can grab it later. And actually, I lied. We're going to come back out here and at least lower our forks so that it's not sitting up in the air all weird. Something like that looks good. We got our seed boxes all filled up. So let's get back out here and finish up that pass that we were working on. I don't actually know which pass that was. So rather than just drive through the middle of the field again, I think we'll just come over here. Oh, looks like we were right here anyway. If I'd been paying attention, we could have pulled right into that. And we'll just go ahead and run back up here and meet it, and then turn around and come back up here and start a new row. I think that's going to be the easiest way for us to do this. Ideally, we would have filled up at the end there, but I didn't want to drive a pallet of seed all the way to the other end of the field, and I forgot to check my fill level when we were on this end of the field, so that's bad on me. And so this is gonna work out just fine. Now the question is which end of the field am I closer to? It looks like I am pretty much right in the middle, so we're just gonna lift this guy up and zip on down here to the end. And away we go. We are good for some more rows. Now, one thing I'm having a little bit of trouble with is the turning radius on this tractor is not what I'm used to. Most of the John Deeres that I drive had a little bit tighter of a turning radius than this thing seems to, so that's a bit of a problem with this 12-row planter. I was thinking about doing one of two things. I'm either going to upgrade the head on the combine after this season to a 12-row, or I could upgrade it to an 8-row because I have a good 8-row head that's made to go with that combine, and then upgrade our planter to a 16-row. The problem with going up to a 12-row head is, can I keep up with it with a grain cart? In corn, I probably could, but it's just a matter of which pieces of equipment I want to swap out. The head is probably going to be a cheaper upgrade, so if I just did the 12-row head, that would probably make the most sense with that combine. Then it would match up with my bean head, which is already a 30-footer, I think, which should be about 12 rows. Here we go. So this is working out great, though. I like this planter. It's working really good. It looks cool. This tractor is doing a great job other than the turning radius. And so this is quite the nice little setup. I've been having a terrible time getting over this cold, so there's a few spots where I'm just going to cut out because I was coughing uncontrollably in the background, and nobody wants to listen to me cough. It's also why my voice gets a little bit quiet at different points throughout the video, trying to preserve my energy and strength so that we can keep cranking out content. Speaking of cranking out content, I am glancing at our clock for the day, and it appears that we are about at time for this episode. We've got a fair amount of work left ahead of us here, and so we will likely need to figure out what we're going to do about that. I know that watching me do the same job for multiple episodes in a row can get a bit tedious. And so we might do some of that off camera. We might do what I did last time, where I do some of my off-camera work on a Discord stream if I am around and have the ability to fire all that up. That seemed to go over well. If that's something that people pick up interest on, I may set up and do some live streams more frequently here in the next few weeks, and actually try to schedule those. Right now my schedule is a little bit unpredictable, where it's real easy for me to just fire open Discord and hit the stream button if I'm around. If I'm gonna do it on YouTube, I'd probably want to plan it out a little bit and announce ahead of time if I'm gonna do a more official stream. So if that's something you guys would be interested in watching, me do some of this field work in a live stream and just have more of a general chat rather than focusing on I'm hesitant to call this role play, but my typical Let's Play style. That's what I've been doing on Discord the last few nights. So just having more of a general chat, talking about anything, not always farm sim. If that's something that people have interest in, let me know in the comments below, and we'll definitely look at maybe adding some more variety like that to the channel on a regular basis. That would be kind of bonus content, since it's stuff that I typically do off camera anyway, so I figure if I'm doing it anyway and people would enjoy interacting in that environment, I'm willing to give it a try. However, that said, I was talking about how the video was running long about 5 minutes ago, and now I'm rambling some more, so I think we're gonna wrap things up for today, and thanks for watching. That's all for today. Clarke, out.